For introduction, Perdana Botanical Garden is one of the oldest urban tourism attractions, or commonly referred as urban recreational park, located in the city centre of Kuala Lumpur. It was first introduced in the year 1888, whereby it is the first and largest public park in Kuala Lumpur with 91.6 hectares. This urban park is formerly known as Taman Tasik Perdana Kuala Lumpur due to its location, which located at the Heritage Park Kuala Lumpur. Considering that the environment of the destination has been part of a recreational park where there are more greenery areas planted, including varieties of collection of tropical plants, it has been re-established in the year of 2011 as Perdana Botanical Garden. With the development of the economy is constantly changing, the Perdana Botanical Garden has become a well-known tourist destination among the local residents and foreigners, mainly for leisure purposes. In fact, the location of the garden is quite strategic as it is easy for the tourists to access the transportation and accommodations. The garden itself is surrounded with a lot of other attractions such as Deer Park, Orchid Garden, Hibiscus Garden, and Laman Perdana.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Farhah binti Zulkipli. Okay, tourist or visitors profile of Perdana Botanical Garden. The first one is demography. In demography, we can see is ethnicity visiting is Malay, Chinese, and Indian. Gender is male and female. Frequency of visiting is area Kuala Lumpur or outside Kuala Lumpur. Attraction for visiting is because to reliving stress by seeing the quiet garden area or learn new thing for. And this because people who continues visiting this place is family members, friends, couples, or individuals. So the next one is good security. This because car safety and safety of visitor make people who visit this place not feel afraid to come to this place. The next one is natural sustainability of nature. This because offer and information and educational experience. This because who are visiting this place can learn new thing and can feel natural environmental. Personality of the tourists or visitors at the place, style of travel. They come with public transport or individual transportation. So this place will pack with people throughout public holidays, school holidays, and weekend. So another style of travel is for motivation. The next one is tourist stereotype. This because people is not the same tourist stereotype, or we call it perception. The next one is learn new thing. Because discover a variety of new things and distinction between the areas they visit. So the next one is supporter of conversation responsibility development. This because this area is protected. So this place will be protected by people who love natural sustainability. And will manage with proper. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Shuhada binti Amdan. I would like to present the tourist motivation relating to the Perdana Botanical Garden. The motivation of tourists when visiting Perdana Botanical Garden is that they are motivated to admire the natural beauty of flora and fauna that can provide a beautiful panorama to tourists. This is because the human relationship with living plants is very important to be maintained in order to give us a deep awareness and interest to preserve and appreciate the environment well. In addition, the second motivation of tourists when visiting Perdana Botanical Garden is that the average tourist is driven by the desire and interest to see and know what is in the botanical garden. For example, there are various attractions such as nature-related events organized by the government or the private sector, and there are also other interesting activities in the destinations. So with the existence of such activities can provide satisfaction and pleasure to tourists and can also add knowledge to them about the information of plants. Furthermore, The motivation of tourists when visiting Perdana Botanical Garden is tourists or the community can enjoy peace and relaxation as well as can reduce stress at work. For example, tourists and locals can spend a lot of time with their families on weekends through positive activities such as exercising, picnics and others, and it also can provide a healthy and good quality of life. Among the positive attitudes that can be seen by tourists is in terms of the use of various facilities available at Perdana Botanical Garden. Most tourists use the facilities well and do not damage public property, as well as tourists who come also cherish the green plants and do not uproot trees and flowers at will that are in each area of the botanical garden. Next, the negative attitude that can be seen by tourists is that some tourists who come to Perdana Botanical Garden do not follow the rules set by the botanical garden. For example, they throw garbage in a forbidden place, and that makes the environment dirty, and the effect will affect tourist areas. Therefore, there is various demand by visitors from among tourists and locals who come to Perdana Botanical Garden. Most tourists and locals want the botanical garden to increase the number of food stalls for them to eat at the place while relaxing with their families for longer. And tourists and locals also want the parties involved to put more bins in each place, which became the focus of visitors who come so that there is no more environmental pollution. The target market of Perdana Botanical Garden is, in terms of tourist arrivals, which is all walks of life can visit the botanical garden, and especially tourists or locals who love tropical life and love knowledge related to plants and animals. They are their attractions are strongly encouraged to come for enlivening the place. So, Perdana Botanical Garden should promote more uniqueness and interesting activities for tourists so that more visitors come to visit the Botanical Garden as well as to further improve the country's economy.
Among the recommended marketing strategies that are applicable for DBKL in managing the Perdana Botanical Garden is by analysing the market research of tourism. The reason for this is due to the current situation that is constantly changing according to the latest trend. As the tourism industry is currently encouraging the community to travel locally in the endemic phase has brought up the latest trend in travelling to various types of destinations. This can be helpful in recognizing the current market that is maybe potential for the destination. Next, by analyzing competition in the market trend of tourism also can be applicable for the BKL in organizing the PBG. This is because there are many ecotourism destinations that can be visited by the public. Although analyzing competition might not be able to increase the number of tourist arrivals drastically, it can be used as a way to identify and understand the competitors' strengths and weaknesses that can affect the tourist movement. Hence, it can improvise the existing marketing techniques used. In addition, by conducting marketing research regularly can help the DMO to collect data to ease the decision-making progress. Ultimately, marketing research can be helpful for DMO in identifying and recognizing opportunities or a review from the tourist perception. Aligned with the marketing strategies stated above, will firmly help to develop their marketing mix of the destination. To clarify, the strategy of enhancing the marketing mix is made once the DMO has obtained the data collection from the tourist perceptions. This suggests that by manipulating the marketing mix of the 4 Ps, the DMO will be able to influence tourist behavior and decision-making in the short term and long term, depending on the current situation. Finally, it is crucial for the DMO to get a review and revise the method used to understand the tourist behavior towards the PBG. The reason for this matter is that revising the marketing mix and other technique allows the DMO to recognize and identify any of the parts that could have not reached a better result. In this way, DMO can also remove any of the parts that may be not in use or not suitable enough for the marketing strategy towards the destination. Hence, the applicable marketing strategies are surely able to help the DMO in the matter of attracting the tourists to go to the destination.
Hi, I am Syafiqah Hanim binti Muhamad, and I'm in charge for the strength and the weaknesses of Perdana Botanical Garden. The first one is having loads of facilities and amenities in order to satisfy the visitors. Perdana Botanical Garden has a cafe to have a quick lunch or breakfast, souvenir shop, toilet, and even surah for Muslim visitors. They have an interpretation center where visitors can visit to find out more information about the gardens or plants there, and they have scenic spots like Laman Garden there. The second one is having a tropical oasis, and that is what makes it a strength to attract more visitors. The gardens were lush and green, hence people like to go for a walk or jog to run away for a while from the big busy city. There are loads of trees, vegetations, plants, flowers, and even animals to see there, as the name of the place is a botanical garden. The last one is the strength they ever have. Perdana Botanical Garden is strategically located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur with loads of other types of attractions nearby. Therefore, people will have worthy visits as they can visit multiple attractions at one time, such as Kuala Lumpur Bird Park, Deer Park, Orchid and Hibiscus Garden, Butterfly Park, etc. Next, weaknesses. The first one is facilities and amenities are the most important things people look up to at the attraction places. However, lacking at those who are going to give such negative impact. There are no facilities at all for handicapped people, such as pathways for wheelchair users. There were also complaints about how little shade they have for people to avoid the sun when it is scorching hot, and even the benches and the gazebo were also in a bad shape that people can barely sit on those. The second one is that the Perdana Botanical Garden was poorly maintained, especially during the pandemic when no one was allowed to go outside. Even back then, in 2010, the management was not really taking good care of it because it was a huge garden. The trees and the vegetations were in a bad condition. The last but not least, Perdana Botanical Garden is not a tourist-friendly attraction as they were lacking in indications. There was not enough information around the botanical garden, such as signage, no brochure provided, no map provided, no clear directions, labels for the trees and the plants, especially the herbs. People with little information could never really know what herbs are exactly they were saying since there were no labels. Alright, that is all for the weaknesses.
Firstly, it is recognizable for Perdana Botanical Garden to set an opportunity to gain attention from various types of tourists to this destination. Nowadays, the importance of social activities among the communities has created better interaction among the visitors in influencing their own users' social experience. Correspondingly, this shows that tourist behavior is strongly influenced by other people's interests. To illustrate, a tourist may become an incidental type of tourist while having a social activity such as a family picnic day with relatives nearby. Not only that, but those also who are interested in natural environment will have a quality of time and experience while enjoying the beautiful scenery of the Perdana Botanical Garden. In managing the destination, a reputation of attraction can be highly affected by the tourist behavior. The psychographical of current lifestyle may influence the tourist perception in traveling and may be a threat in managing the destination. This is because the tourist decision-making process which is involved when choosing a holiday destination. This includes the decision which involve the geographical, demographical, and behavioristic of a tourist. For instance, when there are a lot of tourist attractions that have the opportunity to reopening and redevelop, the tourists may face Personal determinants that may affect their attitude and perceptions to try out new attraction places. Among factors that may be from the discrimination of friends and relatives, the current market trend of tourist activities, and the influence of social media. Moreover, with the high motivation of the tourists to experience a different environment while on holidays, thus, the mood of travel motivation to the desired destination is based on an interest lifestyle of a tourist.
Issues or problems in managing tourist behaviors at Perdana Botanical Garden. The first one is littering. Littering will always be an issue in every attraction place just because not everyone in the country is responsible enough to trash their litter at the right place, and it can give so much impact on the environment. The education of the tourists that most of the time drives them to do certain things. Little did they know that litter could contribute to the spreading of diseases. The second one is reckless drivers and the poor conditions of the roads. In Malaysia, reckless drivers and poor conditions of the roads has led to many accidents and even fatality. There were rumors saying that the visitors are so irresponsible in parking their car recklessly, even though there was enough parking lot there. These types of attitudes can lead to many possibilities such as accidents, arguments, and so on. The last one is the staff of their management in Perdana Botanical Garden was also using motorcycles to run around the garden. Some people think that it is inappropriate for the environment as it can pollute the air with the release of smoke to the garden. It could be bad for those that are actually running or jogging at the lake to inhale all those smokes. Alright, that is all for the issues or problems in managing tourist behaviors at the Perdana Botanical Garden.
Other aspect related to the destination is the quality of environment, which is potentially influence the tourist well-being. A characteristic of the image destination are heavily influence the decision-making and opinion of the tourist. This describes that the user's first sight perceives the physical state of the destination, whereby the tourist's positive reaction depending on the environment of the tourism destination occurs. In fact, the nature and green types of destination are highly potential in helping users' health in the form of physical and mental. With the initiative to come to the Perdana Botanical Garden, visitors can reduce their stress by embracing the natural beauty of greeneries. It is also said that the time spent surrounded by the natural environment helps to restore their well-being. Hence, the availability of urban destinations such as recreational parks and gardens are not only capable of preserving and conserving nature, but also improve the quality of life.
Recommendations. The first recommendation is, since Perdana Botanical Garden is such a humongous site, the maintenance staff should be more than they have for now. If the places were poorly maintained by the reviews, perhaps they can allow people to volunteer activities there to clean up the place. The second one is Perdana Botanical Garden can be improved by increasing its facilities and amenities more. Since the Botanical Garden is a huge one, it is supposed to have enough shade for a scorching hot day, to have enough benches and that are not broken for elderly visitors to sit on, and perhaps add features for the handicapped people so that they can as well experience being in the Botanical Garden like others. The last but not least, making the Perdana Botanical Garden more eco-friendly is actually a way to improve the garden's environment by using eco-friendly items or materials. Since they were preserving the old heritage trees, they might as well make the environment cleaner in such a way the trees and vegetation can be preserved for a longer time. They can add little things such as put disposal bins around the garden. That way, the litter can be divided and accordingly to be recycled. Alright, that is all from me, Syafiqah Hanim, and thank you.
In conclusion, the travel behavior of visitors is indeed capable of having implications for a particular destination. Whether it is a negative or positive effect, a place is unlikely to succeed in becoming a tourist attraction if there are no implications for the tourists who visit it. Hence, a proper marketing promotions and support by the public are highly needed to create and sustain a successful tourist destination.